back to my channel. This is Nova Gnome Creations, and I'm Nova, and I'm so happy to see you today. Today is our Luck of the Draw Thursday video, so if you are new here, welcome to the cozy little corner of YouTube, and if you're not new here, welcome back, my Gnomie. I'm so happy to see you. If you have not heard of Luck of the Draw is every Thursday a channel called Nan's Next Knots, which will be linked in the description box below this video. She draws a number out of a hat, and you have those numbers tied to something. Most people choose a yarn to have it tied to, so they may say, I have color or number 3 tied to this Red Heart Super Saver. Is this just yellow? Bright yellow. And so every time that Nan pulls the number 3 out of her hat, they'll be like, okay, I'm going to use this Red Heart Super Saver bright yellow. And a lot of people do a blanket, but you don't have to do a blanket. There is a Luck of the Draw blanket, and you can see more about that on her channel if you're interested, but you can literally do anything you want. And you don't even have to have a specific yarn for your numbers. I am actually doing colors. So my numbers correlate to purple or blue or green. I have some that correlate to like kind of a mix. So like gray / silver or yellow / gold. You can set them to be anything you want, and actually I have some people here in my little community that have set them to be whips. They're doing rotating whips, so it's like, okay, number 3, I'm working on this blanket today because that's what number 3 is for me. So you can really do anything you want, and if you're interested in joining in on that, it is week 6 right now, so you could either play catch up or you could just start where you are. So you could definitely still join in on that, and every week on Thursdays she picks a new number. So for this week, well, technically last week, because I wait for her to draw the number and then I make my scrumble and I come back on the next Thursday and show it to you, I got yellow / gold. So I made a very interesting scrumble this week. It is very different from anything I've made. And Mr. Lincoln has come to say hello to his channel. It looks like he must have just woken up. This is Lincoln's channel, if you didn't know. I called him the mascot before, and he said, excuse me, you're the mascot. This is my channel. This is my yarn-loving kitty, and he is the sweetest little thing ever. But anyway, I made a very interesting scrumble this week, and I'm actually going to insert the very few pictures and video clips that I have. I massively dropped the ball on this. I got like really engaged into what I was doing, and this was very much an adventure of a scrumble, so I didn't take pictures and videos of the process like very well at all. So what I did do was quickly filmed a little video also kind of explaining what I did and showing you guys. So I will insert all of that now, and then I will come back and I will show you in real life what the scrumble looks like. Since I was very lacking in the progress pictures and progress videos, I'm going to do my best to kind of explain what I did. So you saw that I started out by making a chain, and I did some where I would chain and then I would go back and connect back to the same stitch so that it would form loops. And I'll pop up a picture like in the corner of the first picture just to show you and remind you what I'm talking about. Well, what I ended up doing was, and I will kind of give you a close-up, this yellow right here was the original starting chain, and it has loops, okay? So this was one of the loops right here. I ended up going down the other side in this kind of mustardy sort of color, and doing the same thing. But what I did was I chained along it, including along the part where the loop was, and then when I would get in between the loops on the yellow, I would do a loop on this side. And like I said, it was still just chaining. I would just chain like 5 stitches and then connect back in to the same stitch, and then I would continue chaining, and then I would do the same thing. Do like 5, connect back into the same stitch. And I did that all the way along until I got to the end. So here is the end and here is the beginning of that chain. Then I worked my way down it and I put stitches into the chains. So I single crocheted into the chains, and I used on this side this like really fluffy, soft mustardy colored yarn, and on this side I used the yellow. And what I did was I like single crocheted until I got to the little loops. Then I did a half double crochet, and then I double crocheted all the way around, and then I did a half double crochet, and then I continued on single crocheting. And I did the same thing on this side, single crocheting, and then half double, a bunch of doubles, half double, single crocheting, till I got back to the loop, and I repeated. And I did that all the way to the end, and that is what formed this basic shape right here. So you'll see that basically there was the yellow chain, then I worked this side of the other side of the chain, and then I worked the yellow on this side, and then I worked this really soft color, or really soft yarn on that side. So it formed, and I really wish I would have taken a picture at this point. I really dropped the ball on that one, but it basically looked like a piece of seaweed or kelp. It was honestly really cool, a really cool effect. I might do another one of those without forming it into this, whatever the heck this ended up becoming, because it was really cool looking. But then I decided to do a border around the whole thing. It was really like wavy, and I was like, well, maybe I'll flatten it down a little bit. And I like did double crochets, and I skipped stitches. So I did like a double crochet with a chain, skipping a stitch, double crochet with a chain, skipping a stitch. And I did that all the way around in the whole thing. And that is where this gold color came in. And the reason there's so much right here of the gold color is because it was super, super, super wavy and crimpy and everything because there were so many stitches going on. Well, I decided to pull all of my yellow loops, because there are like 4 of these circles that I did with the yellow. I decided to pull them all together and sew them together. So that's something that you do in freeform crochet sometimes, that I've seen from my little bit of experience in freeform crochet, is sewing different pieces together to make them into different shapes. So I sewed this all together, and here's what the back looks like. It actually looks very different on the back. You can more see where I sewed everything together, and it's just more fluffy on the other side. So I sewed that all together, and then I went around and used this fluffy yarn that's a different fluffy yarn than this one. So there's this fluffy yarn that I used, if I can figure out where my hand is. This one, and then I, into the gold, used, this is like a maybe a 2-weight yarn, if even. It is this one. There's a lot of it. I did like a ton of stitches with that one, and it made this really fluffy layer, and it was still like sort of crimping up, and I was like, it kind of looks like a butterfly. And then I went ahead and decided to add another border, and I bordered the whole thing in yellow, and I tried to do my stitches in a way that would kind of cinch together areas that were looking really not laying flat, to make it lay a little bit more flat, just so that it would, you know, be a little bit more what I wanted. And I am calling this my yellow butterfly piece because that's kind of what it looks like to me. And this one is definitely the weirdest and definitely the most go with the flow piece that I've done. But here's what the back looks like. Or any side could be the front really, but this is what I've decided is the back. And then here is the front. So that is what my Scrumble is looking like for this week, and here it is in real life. So it is a total like weird little wonky creation and perfect for a Scrumble, to be honest. It kind of reminds me of a butterfly, and Lincoln is like, excuse me, that is not me. So yeah, this is, I'm kind of calling this my yellow butterfly Scrumble. I don't really know how I feel about it. It's okay. It's not my favorite. Making it was quite fun and interesting. It was very much like a creative endeavor of rolling with the flow, going with the flow. I changed like I didn't have a vision for what I was doing with it, which is honestly I frequently don't when I'm doing these crumbles, which is kind of fun to not go into it with like a plan of what I'm doing yet and just kind of rolling with it and doing what feels organic. And I definitely did that with this crumble. This was definitely a rolling with it. It changed form entirely throughout the process, so it definitely is very interesting. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this one. Like I said, it's not my favorite, but it is interesting and it is different. You know, you don't want all of the scrumbles to look the same, so it looking a little bit different and a little bit interesting is not the worst thing ever. But apparently I am being requested to hold someone, even though I literally just held him for so long this morning. But he's being super cuddly. He's purring too. I don't know if you guys can hear that. But I hope everybody is having a great week. As you're seeing this, I am currently spending time with my family because I'm having my little spring break. And as you guys know, my sister and my little nephew and my brother-in-law all came to visit all the way from Michigan to Texas. So we are spending some quality time together. So I'm actually filming this ahead of time. Look at me being all advanced. So I wanted to show you guys what my scrumble looks like. And let me know what you are working on down in the comments. If you are doing a Luck of the Draw project, what did you get for your Luck of the Draw pool? And Lincoln says, hello. Thank you for coming to his channel. He says, I am taking a little nap in mommy's arms now, and you may leave. So I will see you guys later. I hope you're doing wonderful, and I hope your families are taking care, and you are taking care the best that you can. And I will see you later. Bye, guys.